You ready? Go for it. This, sir, will kill.
The German Halberd.
My name is Philip Baldwin. Fame is a curious thing. Being a winner in the show might be a game changer, and I don't really have that much time left. I'm old.
Used by Swiss armies during the medieval era, the halberd was a versatile and lethal weapon of war. A combination of spike, hook, and axe, it was a triple threat. Foot soldiers would defend themselves against knights on horseback by using its back hook to catch and dismount their opponents, and then move in for the kill using the spear point to thrust or the axe to slice through armor. An infamous killer, King Charles the Bold, the Duke of Burgundy, met his fate when his head was halved by a halberd, ending the Burgundian Wars in 1477. The Zweihander.
My name is Jay Replogel. Ever since I was a kid, kung fu fighting my brother, you know, with sticks in the backyard, I've always had a fascination with knives, and bladesmithing is just the mature level of that, I guess.
The Zweihander, which means two-hander in German, was a massive sword wielded by Swiss and German mercenary armies in the 16th century. Sometimes stretching to over 6 feet in length, the Zweihander was a longsword featuring an extended grip and broad guard. As European armies employed more pikes and polearms on the battlefield, the Zweihander emerged as a counterweapon. This enormous sword was used to break up pike formations by cutting spear ends and opening up holes in enemy lines. Due to its size, the Zweihander was only wielded by the biggest and most audacious soldiers. If these soldiers survived charges into enemy spears, they would often be paid double for their substantial risk. The Zweihander eventually faded from the battlefield, but survives today in games such as Dark Souls.
This particular halberd has an axe on one side, a hook on the other side, a spike, the bottom fixed into a wood shaft. The originals were not forged in one piece, and that's the approach that I'm going to take. The most challenging element is going to be making the central cross. It's a very compact forging. Really would be easier to just fabricate it to get something that looks okay at 200 yards. But this show is not fabricated in fire, it's forged in fire. It is a tricky shaping problem. I'm drawing on everything I know. I'm no professional halberd maker, that's for sure. It's almost done. The problem is it's just too thick. Sharpening the blades took a lot longer than I thought it would. There was a lot more metal on the edge than it looked like. I'll let the judges do their worst.
Here we are in Sparta, Tennessee at my shop. My game plan is to first do a design, and then we'll just go straight to forging. This sword is just epic. I mean, this is as big as it gets as far as swords go. So it's gonna be a real challenge. I've never made anything this big. I mean, the overall thing's gonna be 5 feet. It's a physical challenge as much as it is, you know, a forging challenge. You know, it's like CrossFit forging or something. But clock's ticking, you gotta get it done.
So far, it's coming together really good. My grind marks, feet up right here in the center really good.
It's time to quench. Getting an even heat over such a long piece, it's definitely make or break, you know. If the quench doesn't go good, we're gonna have to start all over. When you have a 5-foot blade, that means you have to have almost a 5-foot quench tank. This could be pretty bad. If the quench doesn't go good, we're gonna have to start all over.
Sweet, didn't break. That's what I was hoping for.
Now I can start working on the guard. I put the wiggle shapes in it. So today I'm gonna wrap the handle in leather, and it'll make a super tough handle that should be able to take the impacts.
String helps everything get nice and tight.
This blade is a beast. It's gonna be able to take some punishment and deal some punishment.
It will cut. To see what kind of lethal damage your halberd will do, we'll take your halberd and deliver thrust, hacks, and attempt to dismount that dummy with its hook. Phil, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
All right, Phil, your spear tip is sharp, not only at the point, but its edges also. Your axe head, not only did it dig in and break the ribs, it went in and cut the internal organs that were behind the ribs. And your hook blade, it dug into the ribs and dismounted the dummy from the horse. Overall, your weapon here will kill.
Thank you.
Good job. Jay, you ready?
Go for it.
Let's do this. It is a heavy weight, and it's harder to manipulate with multiple blows. But on the thrust, I was able to go in one side and all the way on the opposite side of the dummy. This, sir, will kill.
Thank you.
To test the strength and durability of your halberds, I'll be chopping into this corrugated sheet steel. Remember, this test is all about what the steel does to your halberds and not what your halberds do to the steel. Phil, you're up first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Well, Phil, your halberd held up perfectly. All of the faces on it are still razor sharp. There's no deformation that I can see. Overall, very well done.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, this is the strength test. Now, the Zweihander was often used against pike formations. So I'm going to take your Zweihanders and go against a rack of pikes here, 5 times with each of your blades. See how far I can break through. Jay, you're up. Are you ready?
Ready.
Wow. When you start swinging this thing, it moves things out of its way. I don't see any damage to your edge. Nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, bladesmiths, to test the sharpness of your blades, I'll be cutting through these fish using both the blade and the tip of your halberds. Now, a good sharp blade should cut through those fish nice and clean. Phil, you ready?
Go for it.
All right, the cuts look very clean. They're just nice slices. I really like the design of this weapon. The handle feels good. It's got some heft to it, but it's balanced nicely. But most off, it's definitely a sharp weapon. You built a cutter. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
To test the sharpness of your edge, I'm going to cut into this bundle of sugarcane twice, once with either side. Jay, you're up. Are you ready?
Ready as I'm ever gonna be.
It's got a lot of weight to it, but obviously it's plenty sharp. Nicely done.
Thank you.
2 blades, 1 champion. You decide the winner. Forged in Fire, War of Weapons.